And we really need to be brutally honest with ourselves that we are not fully tapping our potential to create those opportunities for others when we're sleep deprived, when we're eating poorly, when we're skipping our own paychecks, when we're skipping exercise or neglecting our relationships. So Veggies First is sustainable entrepreneurship. You work hard in your business. On the Profit by Design podcast, we ask the big question: what has your business done for you lately? Hi, I'm Dr. Sabrina Starling, the business psychologist, the author of How to Hire the Best, and your co-host on the Profit by Design podcast. Weekly, my co-host, Mike Bruno, and I bring you tips, tools, and strategies from our own experiences and from the experiences of our guests, who are entrepreneurial thought leaders and real-life entrepreneurs, all to support you in making intentionally profitable and sustainable business decisions to live the lifestyle you desire. Profit designers, are you ready to take your life back from your business? If so, I invite you to join us in the Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back Facebook community that we've started at Tap the Potential. Chances are, if you have a growing business, you're paying a team, and you still feel like you're having to do it all. It shouldn't be this way. Work should support life, not the other way around. And at Tap the Potential, we support entrepreneurs like you in designing sustainably profitable businesses that give you more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. In our Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back Facebook group, I'm sharing with you lots of tips, tools, and strategies to support you in a business that gives you your life back. When you join our community, you will get access to exclusive mini trainings from me, including the Better Business, Better Life Jumpstart, as well as the How to Hire the Best Jumpstart. These free trainings are available only to the members of the Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back Facebook community. There's no charge to join. I would love to see you there and get to know more about you. To join us, go to tapthepotential.com/group. That's tapthepotential.com/group. Profit designers, at Tap the Potential, we are on a mission right now to be a positive force in social media during trying times for all of us entrepreneurs. In that regard, I would love it if you could help us out. We really want to get behind any of you who are doing good things in your communities, showing up and leading with love. If you are doing something to keep your team together during this time and you're sharing it in social media, or you come across another entrepreneur who is being a gift from their gift in some way that you notice, please use the hashtags Lead with Love and Be a Gift. Our team at Tap the Potential is on the lookout in social media for those hashtags, and we will be reposting those social media posts from the Tap the Potential social media. Let's all lead with love, be a gift, and shine bright during these trying times. Hey there, profit designers. Dr. Sabrina here. Today, I want to talk with you about Veggies First. And we're going to tackle the big question, which is your business giving you the quality of life you deserve? And I want to share with you some preliminary data that we've collected from our Better Business, Better Life assessment around this question. So over the last year and a couple of months, probably about a total of 15 months, we have been surveying entrepreneurs with this assessment, looking at what your quality of life is as an entrepreneur and how does that relate to the systems that you have in place in your business. I have some preliminary data that I want to share with you. We are getting ready to sit down and really crunch the numbers and run the stats on this assessment in preparation for the release of my book, The 4-Week Vacation, that's coming October 2021. But here for now, I just want to share with you some of the preliminary data that we're seeing. What I want you to know about this Better Business, Better Life assessment is it is unique. There is no other assessment that I'm aware of that tracks the quality of life for entrepreneurs in relation to the systems you have in place in your business. So If you have not taken this assessment yet, I want to invite you to take it. It is free. It's our gift to you because we really want to support you in having a better life as you improve and strengthen your business. You can take it at tapthepotential.com/assessment. And I actually recommend that you take this once a quarter and use it as a tool for setting goals for yourself each quarter, one business goal and one personal goal. And use it to identify your $10,000 an hour activity for the quarter. What are you going to work on in your business? What gap are you going to close in your business in the coming quarter that will improve your quality of life? We do this with our clients in our Better Business, Better Life program, and their success stories and you've heard them here on the podcast, it truly is a matter of small steps forward taken in a consistent direction really do lead to big change over time. It is possible to have a sustainably profitable business that gives you more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. And taking our assessment is an initial step to moving you in that direction because you will see right in front of you how your quality of life is stacking up. And you will see what needs to be worked on in your business to improve your quality of life. And then you can set a goal in the coming quarter to focus on that activity and move in that direction. So in the results that we've started to analyze with respect to the question of, is your business giving you the quality of life you deserve? I want to share with you that we're seeing that the answer to that is probably not for the majority of entrepreneurs, unfortunately. 76% of small business owners who've taken our assessment have identified that they find it hard to switch off and not think about the business. More than half of our respondents say that they have neglected basic needs such as sleep, healthy eating, or social interaction because of work. And 57% of you are saying you feel as though it takes increasing effort to accomplish simple tasks. And nearly 75% of you are reporting that your moods fluctuate based on how the business is doing. And so if that tracks with your experience, number one, I want you to know you are not alone. This is what entrepreneurship is feeling like right now. And we want to change that. That's what we're all about. And so what I want to share with you today is the simple steps that you can start taking today immediately that will create a higher quality of life for you and make you more effective in the work. When you're working on your $10,000 an hour activities, it'll make you more effective in moving those forward. Before I go there, though, I want to share with you to me, it's one of the most alarming statistics here. And that is how much time we're spending thinking about our business. And well, I don't even want to say thinking. So the question on the assessment, I'm going to read it to you exactly off the assessment. Approximately how many hours per week are you working, including time spent thinking about the business, even when you are not physically present at work? So the average number of hours that we're spending working, including thinking about work, is 57 hours, and the most frequent response was 60 hours. And that being said, there are a number of you who told me you're working 80 hours a week. Some of you said 24/7, which I know you do sleep. So I don't think it was exactly 24/7, but we had, I think 5 or 6 of you that identified you're thinking about the business 24/7. And many of you said every waking hour you're thinking about the business. And so we need to shift that. And when that is going on, you can't be effective at work. There's not that downtime that you need to recharge. So with that in mind, we're going to talk about the veggies first. So where does the term veggies first come from? Well, I'll tell you this. When I was a little girl, my mother made me eat my spinach. You remember the spinach that comes in a can? It's a little slimy, dark green. Whew, I did not like eating my spinach. And the only way she could get me to eat my spinach is she would remind me that Popeye ate his spinach and it made him strong. And so that's what Veggies First really is about. Doing the things first, prioritizing the things that make us strong. There are personal veggies and there are business veggies. We've spent a lot of time on the Profit by Design podcast talking about those business veggies. Those are your $10,000 an hour activities. Today, I want to focus on the personal veggies that make us strong. And the reason I encourage you to put veggies first is because we entrepreneurs are great at taking care of everyone else's needs ahead of our own. And I had a client probably early on in my coaching career, probably about 13 years ago. She brought me into the back of her business in her office and she opened her drawer and she said, "You see this?" And she showed me a stack of checks and they were folded together in a rubber band and turned over upside down in her desk. And I said, "What is that?" And she said, "Those are checks that I write to myself. They're my paycheck and I place them in this drawer. I've never cashed them because the money's not there in the business. I want to make sure my employees are taken care of first." Wow. Just imagine that. I mean, a stack of checks. That stack was probably 2 inches thick. That was years and years that she had foregone her own paycheck in the service of taking care of her team members' needs ahead of her own. I had another client who confided in me that he had refinanced his house to cover payroll, and his wife did not know this. As he was telling me this, he was popping Tums and drinking coffee and talking about his stress level. I had another client who told me that a colleague had confided in him that in spite of having an outwardly successful 8-figure business, this colleague was sharing that she was ready to walk away from it all and just shut it down because it was taking over her life. The stress level and the impact that it had had on her family life was devastating. And she had just said, "I can't do this anymore. I'm going to walk away." This is not okay for us entrepreneurs to have these businesses that really take over. They're taking over our lives. And I think sometimes the feeling as an entrepreneur is, well, this is just the way it is. I have to deal with this. And it doesn't have to be that way. When you're doing veggies first as an entrepreneur, it's shifting how you do entrepreneurship. It's doing entrepreneurship in a sustainable way. I'll never forget during a very stressful time in my life, I had a coach share with me, "Sabrina, this is a marathon, not a sprint." And that just stopped me in my tracks and made me realize that even though I was going through a very stressful time, I needed to take the space and slow down and take care of myself, because if I'm not able to function, my family, my business, everything would hinged on that and it would fall apart. And so that was my aha moment, my awakening to, I have to put myself first and take care of myself. And as entrepreneurs, we're all too willing to pass on that daily investment in ourselves that sets us up to function at our absolute best. So when we're doing veggies first, it means that we're recognizing that above all else, we are our own greatest asset. Successful entrepreneurs embrace the value of investing in ourselves, particularly when it comes to learning and growth opportunities. And here's what's ironic to me. At the same time, we'll be willing to forego the basic self-care on a daily basis. So we'll invest in ourselves in training and learning and growth opportunities. But when it comes to investing the time and carving out the time for the daily self-care, we tell ourselves, you know what? I'll muddle through. I just need to get through this crunch time. And after this crunch time is over, then that's when I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to sleep more. I'm going to exercise. I'll have time to go out to eat with friends. But as Steve Bousquet has shared on this podcast at least more than once, there is no there. There is now. Now is the time for us to be making that daily investment in ourselves and taking care of ourselves as entrepreneurs. So Veggies First is a mindset. It means taking ownership of our choices. It means recognizing that we entrepreneurs have significant potential to design profitable businesses that are life-giving opportunity generators for everyone impacted by the business, the team, our family members, our team members, family members, our clients, and our communities. And we really need to be brutally honest with ourselves that we are not fully tapping our potential to create those opportunities for others when we're sleep deprived, when we're eating poorly, when we're skipping our own paychecks, when we're skipping exercise or neglecting our relationships. So Veggies First is sustainable entrepreneurship. Now, you've probably heard me talk about preventing entrepreneurial burnout with Veggies First in the past. And I want you to know preventing burnout is great. We all should be mindful of doing that. And when we do Veggies First, there's an even greater opportunity at stake because doing Veggies First daily, every day, maximizes our opportunity to really tap our full potential. And when we pass on doing Veggies First in service of getting through our to-do list, what we're really saying is, I'm content to survive. I don't need to thrive. And I want you to thrive. I want you to have that opportunity. When we do Veggies First, it makes us better, stronger, more resilient. And when we do these actions consistently, we improve the quality of our thinking, our idea generation, and our decision making. So every time you do a Veggies First, note for yourself that you're making an investment in your greatest asset, and that's you. And the beauty of Veggies First is that these are the very smallest steps that you can take that immediately right your relationship with your business. You're starting to set boundaries and saying, my business needs to fit in a healthier space in my life. Each veggie that you do is a small step forward to taking your life back from your business. And each veggie that you do builds your strength and your business's strength toward your 4-week vacation. So think of yourself as Popeye. You're opening that can of spinach and you're going to do your Veggies First. So what is a veggie? There's no right or wrong veggie. Every one of us has different things that give us energy and that sustain us. So that's really the key. A veggie for you is something that you do that replenishes you, that restores you, or gives you energy. A little while back in our Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back group, I asked our community members, what are some of the things that you would like to have more time for in your life? And so if you need some ideas for veggies, here you go. Thinking time, relaxing with my family, turning more ideas into reality, reading the books I bought, sleeping in, spending more time with my friends, painting, gardening, walking by the ocean. I mean, really just imagine how peaceful that is to walk by the ocean. So whatever it is for you that you do that restores your energy is a veggie. Now, there's also things like getting plenty of sleep. That's a veggie. Journaling in terms of just processing the things that we're dealing with and our stress. There's a significant amount of research on the impact of journaling for stress reduction. And sometimes people will want to type out a journal. And I really encourage you to actually physically write with a pen and paper or a pencil and paper, because that length of time that it takes to write something out actually slows down our thinking and create spaces between our thoughts. The same thing with meditation. So many of you tell me that you struggle with meditation because your mind is constantly going and it feels like you're failing at meditation. And I just want to encourage you. I also have struggled with meditation for a long time. And I've turned it into, the way I think about it now is it's a practice. And I am always just redirecting my thoughts when my mind starts to wander and go to something else besides just focusing on my breathing. And I would encourage you, no matter how many times you're noticing that your mind has wandered, to just be patient with yourself and continue practicing meditation. There's so much research on the health benefits of meditation and the stress reduction. So many successful entrepreneurs meditate, and the reason we do is because it improves the quality of our thinking and decision making. Physical exercise is another veggie. Getting up and getting moving. So many of us, especially because of COVID, have spent hours and hours in front of Zoom and in front of a camera. And it's so important to move our bodies. In the book Ikigai, it talks about how our body metabolism slows significantly after just 20 or 30 minutes of sitting. So get up, move around, and be active. On our team, when I do one-to-ones now, I don't do them over Zoom. These are walking one-to-ones, and I carry my cell phone with me and I walk. And even if it's cold and rainy weather, I just walk around in a circle in my office space just to be up and moving and not sitting, because sitting is just it's not healthy for us. So I want to talk a little bit about high quality leisure time. It's something that comes up a lot when I talk about the 4-week vacation. I hear entrepreneurs saying, well, I just don't know what I would do with myself. So I really want to encourage you to think about, taking vacation is not necessarily about taking a trip and going somewhere for 4 weeks at a time, or sitting on a beach for 4 weeks and sipping a margarita. A 4-week vacation is really an opportunity to bring high quality leisure time back into your life. And even as you're building up to a 4-week vacation and you're doing your practice tests, I would encourage you to think about, well, if I can't travel, or I don't want to travel for some reason, maybe my kids are in school or my spouse wouldn't be able to go with me, think about what you might do with your time that you've always wanted to do. Volunteer work is something that you have an opportunity to do that when you take some vacation tests from your business. Giving back, doing something like that can be a way of filling yourself up. The other thing about high quality leisure time is it gives you a sense of restoring yourself. So low quality leisure time is when we zone out in front of the TV, and there's a time and place for that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not encouraging you to watch Netflix or to stop watching Netflix and, taking that time to enjoy a good movie. I think there's a lot of value in that. And at the same time, if we go into a zone and we zone out in front of the TV for hours on end, or we get onto social media and we start just watching our time get sucked away, that's low quality leisure time. It's not enhancing our lives. So creating that space in our lives for the higher quality leisure time where we get involved with a hobby or some other type of interest. And there's a lot of research around the value of these kinds of activities in our lives. As a matter of fact, there's a team of researchers from the universities in Kansas, Pittsburgh, and Texas that have developed the Pittsburgh Enjoyable Activities Test that measures the effect of hobbies and leisure pursuits on our overall health. And they have some pretty interesting findings that I share these in the 4-week vacation. And I'll just highlight a few of them here. But in terms of physical health, people who score higher on the Enjoyable Activities Test have lower body mass index, smaller waists, lower blood pressure, lower stress hormones, better sleep, and better overall physical functioning. And there's other research that shows that having hobbies is associated with less severe disease and greater longevity. There's also a large body of research that shows that leisure activities help reduce stress, and that people who take part in a lot of enjoyable activities deal better with stressful life events. Also, people who have more time that they're spending on hobbies and leisure pursuits also tend to have a larger social network and a more diverse social network. I can personally speak to that as a knitter. I have people that I connect with who enjoy knitting. Pre-COVID, we had a group of women who would get together, and there were some men who occasionally joined us. For me, the beauty of that was they didn't have businesses. They weren't interested in entrepreneurship. They really didn't care all that much what was going on in my business. So we didn't talk about business. We talked about anything but business. And so it was a way for me to get out of what I was typically focused on day in and day out and kind of step into a different world and a different environment. So I would encourage you to think about developing some interests outside of business and looking at that as an avenue for improving and enhancing your social network and adding some variety in there for you. A strong social network is it's one of those key factors in healthy aging. So that's something that, the next time somebody invites you for coffee and you pass because you're too busy, make time for that friend and go have that connection, because it's just so good for us to be able to connect with others in that way. And I want to speak right now directly to the men who are listening to the podcast. Male friendships are few and far between. And I've actually had some conversation in recent months with some different entrepreneurs who are men who have commented on, especially during COVID, when you can't get out and do things. It was actually John Bates who made the comment that a lot of male friendships are side by side, where you go and do something together. And COVID disrupted all of that. And so I would encourage you, if you're a man and you don't have a lot of social connections, to make that effort, find a hobby, find an interest, to develop some friendships and find some things that you can do to build those friendships and relationships. It really does it takes you out of the business. It gives you something that gives you a focus away from work. And the more things that we have in our life that pull our focus away from work, the better. And I know that may sound ironic. You may be thinking, but I need to work, Sabrina. I'm not saying stop working. I'm saying let's get the business into the right place in your life. And so sometimes it takes those outside interests and those people in our world, our family members and our friends, who say, hey, haven't seen you in a while, or hey, you've been working really hard. Let's go and do something. So developing those interests outside of work really creates some of that external pressure that gives us the accountability we need to do these veggies for ourselves, to take care of ourselves. And back to the hobbies and creative interests, one of the things that I think we all want to do better is be better at problem solving. And I hear a lot of you entrepreneurs saying that you wish your team was better at problem solving. Well, there's an interesting study from San Francisco State University that's been published in the Journal of Occupational and Organizational Therapy that found that employees who have creative outlets outside the office are better at creative problem solving on the job. So, hey, how cool is that? So encourage your team members to have hobbies and outlets away from work as well. And on the Tap the Potential team, some of our team members during a huddle suggested that we have a paint night. So we recently did a paint night at Tap the Potential. I don't paint. And they decided it wasn't a requirement to paint to come. It was just bring some kind of hobby or interest that you have and join us, and let's just get together and have fun. Well, Stacy Seguin does acrylic pours. And so we got to watch her on Zoom while she made these beautiful acrylic pours. And I was fascinated watching her process and the paint and the different colors and what she was creating. Melissa on our team paints different variations of Rosie the Riveter. And she was doing, I think she had at least 3 paintings. Maybe she had 4 paintings going too at the same time while we were on Zoom. And Melissa and Stacy clearly were relaxed and enjoying themselves. The rest of us watching, I think, is just enjoying watching their process and learning. And for me, I was learning about new hobbies and things that, I wasn't even aware of. So I would encourage you to make time like that for creative opportunities, even with your team, and encourage your team members to have these interests away from work. When it comes to the whole work supports life and Veggies First, it's not just about the business owner. It's also about us setting an example for our teams and creating a healthy workspace. I just had this conversation in Leadership Boot Camp with some of the A players in our clients' businesses. And we were talking about how when you're working in a small business and you're short-staffed, there's a lot of extra demands placed on the A players on the team because everyone's running around trying to fill all the holes. And they're trying to take some of the responsibilities off the business owner's shoulders. And so as the business owner's time gets freed up in the business, we have to remember too that we have team members who may be taking on more and more responsibility. So just like we are having to learn how to delegate and let go, it's important for our team members to learn how to delegate and let go. And it's also important for our team members to learn to set healthy boundaries for their own work-life balance and taking care of themselves. And so I was asking these participants in Leadership Bootcamp to share some of their wins. And it was a win for some of these team members to say they took a full day on the weekend to just be off and be with family. And that's the thing is, when you're in that transition and you're trying to hire A players and grow your lean and mighty team, there are times when there's just not enough people on the team to get everything done. And it's really easy to slip, especially for your A player team members who want to make you happy and they want to show you they're capable. It's really easy for their number of hours that they're working to start creeping up and up and up. And because they're A players, they won't complain about it. They will just keep doing it. And so we have to be mindful of our team members getting burned out as well. And so teaching them and role modeling for them veggies first and appropriate boundaries and setting self-care goals that you share as a team can be really important. So I hope this episode has given you a lot of good food for thought, pardon the pun, as you focus on veggies first and creating some opportunities for yourself on a daily basis to do something that restores your energy and makes you more effective. I would love to hear from you in the Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back Facebook group. What veggies are you going to add into your day? What's going to give you energy? So post that, share that. Let's encourage each other. We also are really keen on giving you permission slips for those veggies. So if you share a veggie and you want Melissa on our team to create a permission slip just for you, be sure to post that in our Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back Facebook group. It'll be a permission slip from me that gives you permission to do your veggies first, and it'll be customized to you for whatever that veggie is for you. So I can't wait to see what you have to share. And if you haven't taken our assessment yet and you want to be more intent in this second quarter of 2021 on taking care of yourself and improving your quality of life while strengthening your business, the assessment is a great place to start to get a baseline. And then you can take it again next quarter and track your progress. You can take our free Better Business, Better Life assessment at tapthepotential.com/assessment. Thank you for spending time with us today. Join our conversation in the Entrepreneurs Take Your Life Back Facebook community at tapthepotential.com/group. Share your aha moments from today's episode, ask me questions, and join in on the fun with your fellow entrepreneurs on the journey to designing sustainably profitable businesses that give you more time for what matters most and more money in your bank account than ever. And finally, share today's episode with a friend if you know a friend who would enjoy it. This is real life business. Keep your chin up, keep moving forward. You got this.